Very good morning, my dear friends. Really sorry, got stuck for a few minutes. So we started last week the segmentation one, and I said the reason why I'm taking this from the module 4 because you will get it for the assignment, and even the marketing mix will be there for the assignment. Assignment is already done, and it's under final modification. And once we get it, we will be able to share it hopefully tomorrow or day after. So next week we will be discussing the assignment what you all have to submit in advanced certificate 1. So there you have marketing mix and the segmentation both areas. So I'll be finishing the marketing mix area. Then we'll be looking at segmentation area. Then we'll be looking at the marketing mix also today. I mean, whatever the possible areas in marketing mix we'll be discussing today. So give me 1 minute. Okay, now guys, can someone tell me up to which point we completed the market segmentation part? I think, but we didn't do the targeting strategies and the positioning strategies. Am I correct? We did the up to segmentation we did, but we couldn't do the targeting strategies and the positioning strategies. Why?
No, sir, we did.
We didn't know, but we were talking about the segmentation part. Sonal, any reason the numbers are less? So shall I continue? I'll be continuing anyway. So recordings are there, right? Okay. So guys, actually we started talking about the segmentation there, right? So we identified there are 4 main areas when it comes for this particular topic: the segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and the positioning. So we were talking about, okay, what is segmentation, and we identified different areas, different I mean to say variables or different strategies what we can use to segment the market. So segmentation is all about dividing whatever our existing market into mutually exclusive groups, as we were talking about. So to divide, we identify, we found the reason behind this segmentation, why we want to do the segmentation, what is the reason, right? Why we do the segmentation. We identified because, I mean, unlike those days, we have a huge competition right now in the industry because we are not the only player in the industry. So we have many parties, those who are sometimes sending the similar products or sometimes sending the, let's say, the substitute product. Substitute is also a competition. So then substitute product or the products that are sometimes similar. Substitute products, I can't remember what do you call it in single. I think Anupuraka product, Anupuraka band. But I can't remember the exact word, right? But substitute products in the sense the products that you can, different product you can use for the same purpose, like tea and coffee, right? I mean, coffee කියලා කියන්නේ තේ වලට substitute එකක්. එතකොට අර ඒ වගේ. So substitute products can be what do you call a competition for you, like that. So the competition is increasing day by day, right? Competition is increasing day by day. So that competition create our market very smaller day by day, right? Because when there are 10 okay, let's say when there are no competitors, the entire market, like, okay, let's say if you are if you are the sole supplier for the market, අපි විතරයි නම් market එකට supply කරන්නේ. අපිට dictate කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් terms නේ. If you all can recall your memories to the situation where only Shell was dominating the market. Shell gas company එක market එක dominate කරගෙන යන කාලේ ගත්තොත් එහෙම. So there, we didn't have any options, no. Then RSLE came up with the Munda brand, domestic gas ticket, but he couldn't basically make himself stronger there. Then LAF came into the picture. So to a certain extent, the environment got balanced between two parties, right? Now, even with the two parties, you know what is happening right now, no? So I mean, even they are demanding, they are dictating their terms. But when it comes for competition, you mean to say it is increasing daily. So this increase sharing our market into different groups. Just give me 1 minute, my dear. Right. Okay. So, and the media fragmentation, medias we were talking about, medias are increasing daily, number of medias. Now even the people at the individual level, they have their own medias. Now, digital platforms you take as an example, social media gathot, Facebook තියෙනවා, LinkedIn තියෙනවා, Instagram තියෙනවා, Quora තියෙනවා, Pinterest තියෙනවා, ඒ වගේ there are so much of social media platforms. So they are using their own medias to promote now. Now, what happened? Even the people who are attracted to mass media like TV, radio, newspaper, and all these things now moved into digital channels, and people are based on their likings. They shared among different I mean the media platforms. So medias have fragmented our market. So by looking at the competition and the media fragmentation, increase in competition and the media fragmentation, unlike those days, we cannot cater the mass, the entire population now. So we need to identify where the right people are located. Our customers are located. To do that, we need to do the proper segmentation. And also, when we do the segmentation, which means the grouping, we identify unique likings in them, unique behavioral patterns in them, unique, certain requirements in them, similarities we identify. So by doing that, it is very much easy for us to design our strategies. It is very much easy for us to design our products based on their requirement. Otherwise, what will happen when we don't know to whom we are catering, what type of needs they have? So when we are clueless in it, අපිට ඒක ගැන idea එකක් නැත්නම්, අවබෝධයක් නැත්නම්, අපි design කරන product එක අපි design කරන්නේ අපිට ඕන විදියට. So when we are designing the product the way we want, sometimes that may not be the product what the market is really expecting. So evolution එක අපි කතා කරනකොට production era එක, industrial revolution time period එකේ. So Ford Motor Company එක Model T කායක හැදුවා. හැදුවේ ඇයි? ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතුවා මිනිස්සු purchase කරයි product එක අඩු ගානට තිබ්බොත්, availability එක තිබ්බොත්. So assuming that they manufacture the product, but there are so many other requirements are there in the market, no? Not only one particular thing. So people are having, now you take as an example the automobile industry. Some need the very basic transportation need, and some are economically not that strong, so they are going into the economic vehicle, like maybe even Tata Nano, maybe even Marutis, Altos kind of a thing. So moderate income level segment goes for another, higher income level goes for another, upper income level goes for another product range. So depending on their income, then maybe their likings, whatever the expectation they have, right, they might choose the product in that. So see, I mean, if you take even the milk powder industry, let's say why non-fat? Because of their requirement, right? Health conscious requirement is there. Non-fat, maybe full cream, maybe you name it, whatever the way, right? So එක requirements වලට තමයි ඒක cater කරන්නේ. So like that segment, why did we do segmentation? is because we wanted to identify the right set of people to cater with our products and services. So that is the whole purpose behind doing the segmentation. So there we identified 4 different strategies mainly. We identified 4 different variables, avenues. Api avenues හතරක් ගැන කතා කරා segmentation කරන්න පුළුවන් avenues හතරක් ගැන. එකක් තමයි අපි කිව්වා demographic variable කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ individual characteristics base කරගෙන, personal characteristics base කරගෙන. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒ කියන්නේ age එක, gender එක, occupation එක, education level එක, height එක, weight එක, size එක, physical dimensions අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම family life cycle එකේ කොයි stage එකේද ඉන්නේ, infant, the baby, the kid, the teenager, the adult, the young adult, the senior citizens, ඔය විදියට අපි family life cycle එක ගත්තා. ඒතර married, the unmarried, the married with fullness, the emptiness, so like that we were talking about. So like that we are segmenting the market by looking at one area is the personal dimensions. So we identified that as the demographic approach of segmenting the market, demographic segmentation. Then we were talking about the geographic segmentation. භූගෝලීය සාධක බේස් කරගෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මාකට් එක කැටගරයිස් කරනවා geographically තියෙන conditions base කරගෙන. දැන් global market එක අපිට classify කරන්න පුළුවන් geographical base කරගෙන. continents අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම මහද්වීප අර්ධද්වීප ගැන අපි කතා කරොත් එහෙම. ඒතකොට එතනදී අපි ඒවා focus කරගෙන geographical classification එක අපි focus කරනවා. European Union එක කියලා කිව්වහම geographical classification එක අපි clearly identify කරගන්නවා, right? එතකොට අපි ගත්තොත් එimhe SAARC countries කියලා කිව්වහම geographical classification එක අපි වෙනම idea එකක් අරගන්නවා. So we get clear idea about all these things. So in the Sri Lankan context we have 9 regions, right? Northern region, southern region, eastern, western, northwestern, Uvasabaragamu, central, north central, 9 regions are there. So these regions are based on the geographic classification. So when you look at the Sri Lankan political conditions, the political map, so it's solely based on the geographical classification where you talk about the 9 regions and the strengths that they are trying to maintain in each and every region. So throughout the country. So like that. So geographical parameter. And also we were talking about even the climatic condition. Climate එක geographical condition එකක් විදිහට අපි කතා කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ climate එක කියලා කිව්වහම in Sri Lanka we don't have that 4 seasons like spring, autumn, winter, summer කියන 4 seasons now. But we do have monsoons, 2 monsoons. නිරිත දිග මෝසන්, ඊසාන දිග මෝසන් සහ මේ ඝර්ම කලාපීය රට, tropical country. So when it comes for this country, so I mean we talk about mainly 2 different seasons. Okay, agriculture wala we talk about 2 different yalamaha කියලා seasons දෙකක් කතා කරනවා. So එතනදී if you are into the agriculture product manufacturing, let's say as example, okay, I mean highly discussed the topic, the fertilizer, right? Okay, යල කන්නේ මහ කන්නේට තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ fertilizer requirement එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට යාල කන්නේ I don't know, I mean like sometimes they are I mean for these 2 Yalamaha season the fertilizer even might change, right? I'm not that strong in that area, but fertilizer might change. So like that climatic condition is influencing. And even let's say when you go to hill countries, Nuwara, Badulla, Bandarawela, so those cold climate, so their dress codes, even the food habit, the consumption, right, patterns differs. So we got to identify. So geographically, climatic condition also we look at, and height from sea level, right? So if it is from a number of meters height from sea level, so the soil condition different. So I mean like if you are again talking about the agriculture, again different. So and even the automobile industry we were talking about last week, and land vehicles are made for, I mean those type of road conditions, right? Tractors, you know, I mean like even this the smaller single the smaller tractors, okay, so those things also made, I mean though of course we see even those things in Colombo, right? නමුත් අපි ඒව පවා හදලා තියෙන්නේ එක geographical conditions වලට maintain වෙන variant. So like that, we identify the segmentation by looking at the geographic parameter. Then we were talking about the behavioral parameter. So behavioral parameter in the sense, I mean, consumption behavior, buying behavior. Main two behaviors are we look at consumption behavior. Let's say heavy user, moderate user, low user. Categories අපි consumption එක base කරගෙන අපි කතා කරනවා. Now let's say අපි smoking category එකේදී අපි කියනවා chain user, chain smoker කියලා, right? Regular smoker, chain smoker. ඒ කියන්නේ one after another. Okay, there are people in like that, right? So a usage rate එක usage status එක base කරගෙන. එතකොට frequent users කෙනෙක්ද නැත්නම් occasional user කෙනෙක්ද usage status එක usage rate එක base කරගෙන we are segmenting the market. එතකොට ඒක base කරගෙන තමයි you all seen even the different size of packs. Now අපි දන්නවා family packs කියලා තියෙනවා instant noodles category එකේ අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම. So usage එක වැඩි නම් එහෙම නැත්නම් number of I mean even okay, number of family members are one of the a demographic parameter category you can take it, but I mean it is increasing, which means what the usage, the behavior. So for some the low users, you have a smaller type containers in whatever you take, perfume, you take personal care products, so like that. So I mean even let's say as example, okay, you might have seen sometimes where gillette shaving shavers, where you have 3 packs, 4 packs kind of a thing. So which means you're talking about the usage rate there. So like that. So you have by looking at the behavioral pattern. Now let's say we don't drink espressos every day, but we do have plain tea every day, right? But when you go out for a I mean gathering or a coffee, so you might have espresso, you might have a cappuccino, you might have whatever you name it, the products in that particular range. So behavior segment. So I mean that is why, okay, the places like, okay, Java, Barista, you take whatever the Coffee Bean, Colombo coffee shops kind of locations are very limited, because I mean like people are behaving differently in those places. They don't go every day to have a tea at Tea Avenue, you know. So like that. So we need to identify how even the hospitality industry differs. Right. So these things are there. So behavioral segmentation. Then we identified another one called psychographic segmentation. In the psychographic segmentation, okay, we were talking about how people think, their morale, their personality, their lifestyle are considered over there. ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ thinking pattern එක, their morals, their beliefs on certain things. We are looking at, even let's say the club memberships, if we really look at lifestyle එක ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ personality එක psychological condition එකක්. So their personality, their thinking patterns. So the people, those who are joining clubs like golf club, or people those who are joining club like CRVC, most of the people, those who are sporty kind of a personality, and golf club also, though it is sports related club, but most, I mean, you see 2 different personality levels, like when it comes for CR and the golf club, and CH, if you take again bit of a different. So like that, even the club memberships, if you really look at by looking at the personality level, and lifestyle also there, and even certain brands what people are consuming, premier brand segments. So now let's say certain personal care, or else certain brands like Rolex, Tag Heuer, kind of a watches, right? So Giordano, let's say Under Armour, Nike, kind of certain brands. So people select by looking at their personality. True that the lifestyle and the personality and also the income should be there, but those brands are mainly focusing on different personalities. ඒ කියන්නේ සල්ලි තිබ්බ පළියටම ඔය brand එක purchase කරන්න නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන් කට්ටිය. So some people, even without having in Sri Lankan context what we have identified, even those who don't have money somehow struggle and get that thing. I mean, at least by taking a loan, people are taking things. So like that. So the personality conditions are there. So මේ වගේ අපි conditions හතරක් අපි කතා කරා segmentation එක කරන්න. Demographic, geographic, psychographic, and the behavioral variable killer. So do y'all have any question in that area what we were talking about? I was just summarizing whatever we were talking about. Do y'all have a question? Anything, any questions related to that particular area? Right. Any questions y'all have? Anyone is having any questions related to whatever we were talking about when it comes for segmentation? Anyone? Okay, so and this thing is there now today, and also we were talking about, Give me 1 minute, my dear friends. Piumal, the lecturer is. Right. Okay. Now any questions there? And then we were talking about the key criterias what we need to identify when it comes for proper segmentation. We identified. Any questions you all have? So අපි segmentation එක කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. අපේ segmentation එක කොච්චර effective ද කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැත්තම්. So there we were talking about, okay, if it is to be successful, you need to have couple of areas complied, couple of things complied in your segmentation. And we were talking about, let's say, I mean, once we do the segmentation, we should be able to measure in numbers. measurability එක numbers වලින් measurability එක අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. If not, then again there is a concern. Measurability should be there in numbers. Then we should have the accessibility to the segment. අපේ segmentation එක කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. අපිට segment එක කොයි විදියකින්වත් access කරන්න බැරි නම්. ඒ කියන්නේ segment එක අපිට reach කරන්න පුළුවන් තැනක නෙමෙයි නම් තියෙන්නේ. Then that segmentation is having bit of a concern. So and remember, so it's not a healthy one. Then you talk about substantial, sufficient. දැන් අපි segmentation එකක් කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. අපිට break even කරගන්නවත් ඒ segment එක ඇතුලේ crowd එක නැත්තම්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට break even කරන්න පුළුවන් capacity එකක් ඒ segment එක ඇතුලේ නැත්තම්, so that segment is not an effective segment. So we need to identify that. So substantiability. So then the differentiability. We should be able to, anyway, the segmentation we were talking about, we were discussing this last week. And each and every segment should be clearly defined and differentiated. Segment A, segment B එකෙන් වෙනස් කරලා දැනගන්න පුළුවන්කමක් අපිට තියෙන්න ඕන. Right? අර මං කිව්වේ කියන්නේ skin color එක ගත්තොත් සුදු මිනිස්සු කළු මිනිස්සු කියලා. දැන් I'm not going into that type of racial thing නෙමෙයි. I mean to say we can demarcation එක. Right? එතකොට mutually exclusive. age එක ගත්තොත් අපි ඒ අවුරුදු 10ට වඩා අඩු අවුරුදු 10ට වඩා වැඩි කියලා කිව්වහම එතන ඒ දෙකටම අයිති ඒගොල්ලෝ නැහැ. Right? So like that, male female clear differentiation is there. So mutually exclusive. එතකොට differentiability එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපි income wise break කරොත්, if we break the market by looking at the income, right? So that income, let's say lower income, right? Middle income, upper middle income, upper income, upper income, like that. We have some kind of a benchmark. අපිට benchmark එකක් තියෙනවා. කොතනින්ද මේ පැරාමීටර් එක ගන්න කියලා. ඒතර ඒ පැරාමීටර් එක අනුව තමයි අපි කියන්නේ right okay මේක lower, මේක upper middle, මේක middle, ඔහොමම කියලා කියන්නේ අපි. Right? එතකොට අන්න ඒක ඒ දෙක confuse. Lower income එකේ ඉන්න බෑ high income කෙනෙක්. Lower income එකේ ඉන්න බෑ upper middle income කෙනෙක්. So mutually exclusive differentiability එකක් තියෙනවා. වෙනස් කරලා අඳුර ගන්න පුළුවන්කමක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So if not, then that is not a good segmentation. And also actionability. Actionability කියලා කිව්වහම whatever the actions you mean to say you're taking inside that particular segment, you need to take it in what you call the segmentation. Otherwise අපි segment එක කරනවා, අපිට ගිහිල්ලා ඒ segment එක ඇතුලේ practice කරන්න බෑ. අපිට ගිහිල්ලා strategies implement කරන්න බෑ. අපිට ගිහිල්ලා campaigns run කරන්න බෑ. අපිට product එක supply කරන්න බෑ. එක්කෝ directly හරි indirectly හරි අපිට ඒක ඇතුලේ operate වෙන්න බෑ. Then it is not a healthy segment. So if the segment to be effective, we were talking about these few parameters should be there කියලා, right? And we said okay, we can use the word MASDA to remember this: measurability, accessibility, substantiability, then differentiability and the actionability කියන එක. මෙන්න මේ මතක තියාගන්න ලේසිම එක තමයි කියලා අපි කිව්වා ඒ වචනේ MASDA කියන එක. acronym එකක්. Right? ඉතින් ඒතරේ ඔය acronym එක MASDA කියන එක මතක තියාගත්තොත් ඔය parameters ටික මතක තියාගන්න ඕන. ඔතනින් එකක් හරි මිස් වෙනවා නම් it is not a healthy segment, my dear friends. You might have the measurability, but accessibility is not there. No point. Na? අපිට access කරන්න බෑ. Right? Segment එකට reach වෙන්න බෑ. Programs run කරන්න action ගන්න බෑ අපිට. So තේරුමක් නැහැ. අපි ඔක්කොම measurability, accessibility, substantiability, differentiability ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා. නමුත් actionability එකක් ගන්න බෑ. අපිට campaigns run කරන්න බෑ. Whatever barrier. Right? It can be a legal barrier, it can be a political barrier, it can be economic barrier, it can be a barrier with the trade where you cannot find a proper intermediary over there, or else you can't go and seed your factory over there. So like that. So whatever the way, whether මේන් එකක් හරි මිස් වෙනවා නම් අපි select කරගන්න segment එක healthy නැහැ. So we need to look at it. We need to look at that carefully. Right. And we were talking about the B2B segmentation, and so far we were talking about the B2C segmentation, and we were talking about the B2B segmentation as well. My dear friends, even the demographic parameters we are using in B2B segmentation. Now let's say business market segmentation. ඒතර අපි ගත්තොත් එම business demographics කියන්නේ මොනවද? company එක කොච්චර පරණයිද? Right? ඒතර ඒකෙන් company එකේ I mean it's like age of an individual. Company එක කොච්චර financially strong. It's like age of an the income of an individual. So like that. So company එකේ තියෙන product mix එක මොනවද, right? Company එකේ තියෙන ඔය වගේ demographic parameters even we are looking at the company. And company එකේ තියෙන certain standards, certificates, ISO. It's like the education qualification of an individual. So those things are also there. Demographic variables also there. We are looking at when we are segmenting the market. We say, okay, this company is into education industry, that company is into telecommunication industry, this company is into hospitality industry, this company is into this industry, that industry. Kila industry classification demographics based. So like that, my dear friends, we identify even the business demographics to segment the market, though it is not shown here, right? So the business demographics we are looking at, even the business geographics we are looking at, my dear friends. Now certain, the BOI factories are at BOI zones, right? So or industrial zones. So geographic classification we are looking at sometimes by looking at the location of the company or geographical spread of the company. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම geographical spread සමහර companies තියෙනවා මුළු ලංකාවම cater කරනවා. සමහර companies තියෙනවා western region එක විතරයි cater කරන්නේ. Now let's say as an example, okay, certain companies are there only catering on a particular region. So geographically they are limited into this. So if you're selling, if you're targeting that type of a company, so we need to study. Certain companies are there, n number of showrooms. Now let's say companies like Singer as an example, companies like SoftLogic, Avance, financial sector companies like the People's Bank, 700 plus branches, the BOC, 600 plus branches. So like that. So the private sector banks. So those things when we really look at spread geographical. එතකොට අන geographical spread එක base කරගෙන අපි කතා කරනවා. But psychographic and the behavioral is more towards the operating characteristics what we can see here. So අර parameters දෙකත් අපි use කරනවා segmentation එකට. So here some more parameters what we use. Operating characteristics, manufacturing the කරන්නේ, just trading the කරන්නේ, retailing the කරන්නේ. So එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔය ඔක්කොම කරනවාද මොකද්ද? Procurement approach එක අරගෙන දැන් අපි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් Keel supermarket, Cargill's, Apico, Laugh, then let's say Saptosa and all this, they're into retailing and trading, right? And some wholesaler distributor operation we do identify, right? So operational characteristics, what type of operations they are into. Some are only into manufacturing. Some are into all the verticals. අපි කතා කරනවා vertical marketing concept එක කියලා. Conventional distribution, vertical distribution කියලා අපි කතා කරනවා. සමහර companies තියෙනවා manufacturer ඉනුත් කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේම separate subsidiary එකක් තමයි distribution කරන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේම separate subsidiary එකක් තමයි retailing කරන්නේ. අනිත් companies වලට දෙන ගම. So like that. So operating characteristics base කරගෙන අපි B2B market, business market එක segment කරනවා. Purchasing approach. සමහර වෙලාවට look at the government, right? Only tender procurement, or else if they want to go ahead and purchase on a particular amount without tender, they can go into either state trading corporation, the building material corporation, like the different government entities are there. So procurement approach එක ඒගොල්ලෝ volumes the purchase කරන්නේ එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ high volume the low volume the procurement approach එක අපි බලනවා එහෙම නැත්නම් online the offline the then challenge එකක් තියෙනවා what we have now. Most of the procurement part is also now online, my dear friends. I'm not talking about the retail kind of a thing, but most of the corporate sector companies, the procurement part has taken into online non-technical products, especially. So even some of the technical products, until the last moment, they don't even touch, they don't even talk to the supplier in modern context in certain companies. Now we are experiencing that the companies whom we have dealt previously. I mean, now the procurement approach, even the bidding document, even the quotation, even the product details we have to upload into their procurement system. Then we need to look at the system whether our quotation is getting selected or rejected or whatever. So like that, the procurement ඒගොල්ලෝ online ද කරන්නේ offline ද කරන්නේ අනුව අපි categorize කරලා තියෙනවා දැන්. ඒ කියන්නේ because when we look at okay the online procurement, our approach is bit different. Because now not like meeting a person and explain certain things. Now when we are bidding online, when we are sending a quotation online, my dear friends, so much of details we have to include into it. Sometimes video documentaries also we are uploading into their systems, in the sense අපි හිතමු technical device product එකක් නම් අපි I mean if we are meeting our buyer personally, we can explain certain things, because the buyer sometimes do not have a clear idea about the technical perspectives what we are talking about. So එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට they might not be able to read and understand. So sometimes I mean this is a very recent strategy what we have implemented in online biddings. What we have done now, we do product demonstration videos and upload there into the system. Then they have the written documents, compliance sheets, whatever the certifications, whatever the authorizations, pricing, technical things, everything is there. On top of that, we are giving a product related videos, the demonstration videos. So by looking at that, they can get better idea. So we went into that level right now. So that was the very first time actually when I was, I mean, I quoted for one of the telecommunication company in Sri Lanka, one of the bid, and since I knew that some of the people are not technically sound, I did a small documentary video with a team of my technical people, and they were talking about, okay, this is what the product is all about. This is how the solution is connected with. I mean, if we can meet a person, we can do that. But the problem, online procurement now becoming a challenging thing. I wonder whether you all are facing for those things, but we are facing in today's context. So you need to change your strategies, my dear friends. අපිට meet වෙලා කරන දේ අපි කොහොමද එහෙනම් online එකද? So we need to identify, okay, these clients we have identified. Now even the government tenders now become the online procurement. So we have to submit online certain documents, right? We can't meet the person. So all this happened just because of the pandemic, because they implemented. My dear friends, actually the good thing happening because of the pandemic is the technological infrastructure in government sector improved. So an approach in technology within certain government ministries and the departments have increased. Even I mean, the neglected in the ministries, I don't want to mention names, right? So certain ministries, of course, I mean, not so kind of a what you call prominent ministries, but even though those ministries, they have changed the technology infrastructure on certain area because of this the pandemic. So certain good things also happening behind when so much of bad things also happening at front. So what to do? So these things are there. So the business purchasing approach, as I said, okay, situational. So when changes in macros and the micros, how companies are changing. Now when we really look at, I wonder whether I told you all, I usually put about at least 20 footer 3 containers a month in my business. But for the last couple of months, we didn't even put one single container per month. So it's like that operational characteristics. When we really look at the macroeconomic changes are affecting badly in most of the companies. But we have changed the strategy right now with even our suppliers. So situational factors are changing our approach. Situational factors are changing our approach. So we got to identify that. We got to identify that. So give me 1 minute, my dear friend. So like that, we need to look at, okay, what are the variables we have in segmenting the market. Today my table is very small, so I need to manage. So there are a few changes in my place. So okay. So any questions? Then the personal characteristics, like the person who is involving on the procurement part, whether is a person who is into, let's say, as an example, sound knowledge with the product, right? Then either he will accept it or reject it. So like that. So these things we got to identify. So that area, the segmentation we were talking about anyway last week, but I just wanted to take a summary for me to take a start on the targeting strategy. Any questions? Anyone is having any questions? Anyone is having any questions? Mekala, your mic is unmuted. Do you have any questions? We can't hear. We can't hear. Okay. Anyone is having? If not, we can move into the targeting strategy, right? අපි කතා කරේ segmentation එක කතා කරා segmentation එකෙන් පස්සේ ඊළඟ එක තමයි target කරනවායි කියන එක. target කරනවායි කියලා කියන්නේ හරි segment එක select කරගන්නවායි කියන එක. It's pretty challenging. So we can do the segmentation part, but selecting the right segment is also pretty challenging. Right? එතන අපි මොන group එකද select කරගන්නේ? ඒ select කරගන්න group එක මත what is the I mean, the product we do and all these things we need to identify. So targeting කියලා කියන්නේ ඊළඟ step එක, it's another strategic area in business, because if we miss, my dear friends, the segmentation and the targeting, we are almost gone. අපි වැරදිමින් එතකොට තමයි we are wasting our resources. We will not be able to go into the organizational sales objectives or revenue objectives, so we will not be able to reach. So those things will be there if we don't address those issues. So targeting means what? So it's very simple. Now we divided the entire population, and out of this population we need to select the right group to cater with our products. So which means the best segment we need to select. We need to identify the right and the best segment to cater with our products and services. Because the right and the best segment කියලා කියන්නේ, because you might see, you might want to deal with certain segments, but your company might not have the proper capacity to do it. Now let's say, as an example, okay, now you segment the market by looking at their lifestyle and smaller restaurant operation, let's say. Now you like to deal with the top 10 people, those who are having a fancy lifestyle, those who are dating outside kind of a behavior. So you think, okay, I need to put up a luxury coffee shop, and you talk about, but do the companies having the capacity to do that? Do the companies having the financial, maybe the knowledge, maybe whatever, the culture within the organization? All these things we need to look at when it comes for selecting the right target market and the target audience. දැන් අපි උදාහරණයක් විදියට මට බැරිස්ටා වගේ coffee shop එකක් දාන්න ඕනේ කියලා, if I have no idea in it, if I am not into that type of a cultural development or the cultural engagement, I will not be able to run the business effectively. So you got to have a clear idea on it, my dear friends, when you're selecting the segment and catering with your products and services. So you need to look at this, whether the company is having proper infrastructure to go ahead with this, knowledge, whether it is matching with the corporate policy, company policy. Right now, certain companies, even I would say the companies like the SoftLogic, John Kill, they always worried about the branded products. They always think about, okay, importing the branded stuff and the branded. I mean, they always try to live with the branding kind of a thing. So certain other companies, no, I mean, they worried about the revenue and they worried about even the economic based brand or the product they sell, they talk about the revenue kind of thing. So you got to identify this different. So targeting, when you are looking at the targeting, when we are selecting the right segment and target, we need to look at those areas more. I mean, other than what we were talking about, the Maslow point. අපි Maslow අපි points ටික කතා කරා segmentation එක effective ද නැද්ද කියලා බලන්න. අනිත් points ටික අපි කතා කරනවා. Segment එක කොච්චර structurally attractive the organization එකේ culture එකත් එක්ක policy එකත් එක්ක. Right, so you need to look at those things. So then with that we need to look at, okay, how are we going to select, what are the targeting strategies? Now let's say when you look at targeting strategies, you identify 4 targeting strategies. Now unbranded products you take as an example, unbranded commodity type products, right? And unbranded, let's say as an example, sugar, rice, dal, and whatever you name it, the commodity type items where we buy. So them, when you look at, do they really do kind of a segmentation? Do they really worried about kind of a segmentation? Now let's say the rice and sugar and all these things, unbranded ones. I'm not saying Arali and Nippon and all these things. Those are branded ones, and branded and separately packaging is done separately and all these things. So those things are there. Those are branded stuff, right? And unbranded commodities, even let's say as an example, I mean, kosui dal gatta. So I mean, these products, okay, are unbranded ones. So there you do not bother much in the segmentation approach. Whoever who need, they do buy. But let's say as an example, whatever thing you brand it and sell. Now, I mean, even the brooms and the equal brooms, kosui dalla අපි ගත්තත්. එතකොට ඒක Phoenix එකෙන් ඒක හදලා දෙනවා නම් ඒක they are making it into a Phoenix brand, and they charge different price, and they are taking into a different market segment over there. Right, but average manufacturer, those who are manufacturing the coir based ones, right, කොහුවලින් හදන ඒවා ගත්තොත් අපි ඒවයි branded විදියට ලොකුවට දැකලා නැහැ. So those products they don't bother. Whoever who need, they focus. So like that. And products that do not focus much on the branding and classification, they cater the whole market, not a specific segment. Now let's say average bakery owner as an example. Average bakery owner getting gattot as an example. What do? They make the product and they sell. සල්ලි තියෙන එක්කෙනාවත් එකයි නැති එක්කෙනාවත් එකයි they sell it. පාංගෙඩිය ගානක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒ පාංගෙඩියට ඒගොල්ලෝ විකුණනවා. ඒතර සල්ලි තියෙන එක්කෙනාටත් පාංගෙඩියක ගාන, සල්ලි නැති එක්කෙනාටත් පාංගෙඩියක ගාන, so like that. But let's say as example, Prima, Finagle and all the other Pan and all this, the branded Bread Talk and all these things. So their prices are different. Their prices are different, right? Because they are catering into a different market segment. They are segment-based approach. The Prima is Prima or the Finagle, let's say they give some value addition and sell it to a different segment. අපි බේකරි එකට ගිහිල්ලි වල සාමාන්‍ය පාංගෙඩියක් ගන්නවා නම් අපිට එතන segmentation එකක් කතා වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ඒ බේකරි ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එක ඇතුළෙම ඒ පාංගෙඩිය කියන කැටගරි එකම සෙග්මන්ට් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒක අපි බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් කරලා ඒ කියන්නේ value additions දාලා එහෙම දෙනකොට so we can charge more. So the people those who are expecting okay අද හවස අරන් ගිහිල්ලා හෙට උදේ කාලා හෙට දවල්ටත් කන්න නම් පාංගෙඩිය අරන් ගිහිල්ලා so they will not buy it from an average bakery. They might buy from a supermarket by looking at the expiry date. දැන් අපි බේකරි එකට ගිහිල්ලා සාමාන්‍ය පාංගෙඩියක් ගන්නකොට මේකේ expiry date එක කවද්ද කියලා අහන්නේ නැහැ. It doesn't even mention there. No? So those are commodity type items where you don't talk about the segmentation. So one approach of targeting this market is undifferentiated, which means segmentation එකකට යන්නේ නැතුව full market එක අපි cater කරනවා. We call it as the mass targeting, right? Mass marketing. එහෙම නැත්නම් mass targeting කියලා කියනවා. So mass customization කියලා කියනවා සමහරවිට. So mass market එක cater කරනවායි කියන එක තමයි we identified as the undifferentiated. ඒ කියන්නේ segment මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. full market එක cater කරනවා. full market එක කියනක බීලුණු import කරන මිනිස්සයා ඒ full market එක cater කරනවා. සල්ලි තියෙන එක්කෙනාටද නැති එක්කෙනාටද වැඩි එක්කෙනාටද අඩු එක්කෙනාටද මොකද්ද උසද මිටිද කොටද නුවරද ඉන්නේ කොළඹද ඉන්නේ ගම්පහද ඉන්නේ දිගාල්ලේද මාතරද හම්බන්තොටද අදාළ නැහැ. He just import and distribute, right? So those products we need to look at. But let's say as example, now the same products that are turning into the organic cultivation. So those are segment-based approach. So you go to supermarket like Kiehl's, even now I have seen even in large supermarkets, the organic they are coming up slowly. So the Kiehl's supermarket, the organic product range is there. Even the මුකුඩුවැන්න මිටිය, the pala, the කොළ මිටිය ගත්තත් ඒක වෙනම organic නම් ඒක pack කරලා වෙනම price is also high. That is for a different market, my dear friends. That is for a different market. So that is a segmented approach. But if you see same that what you call this pala mitiya again, right? Kola mitiya තියෙන එක ඒක අපි සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට තියලා මිනිස්සෙක් බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එක බලන්නේ නැහැ. කොළ මිටිය හොඳයි නම් අරගෙන ගියා. So those are mass marketing approach. So you go to Kiehl's. So these products are mass. But the Kiehl's කියන එක අපි ගත්තොත් supermarket එක කියන එක ගත්තොත් it's a supermarket එක product එකක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් ඒක differentiated approach. We'll come into that later. But product wise ගත්තොත් අපි products අපි identify කරගන්නවා mass market එකට cater කරන unbranded products. So no differentiation at all. They are catering the full market. So that is one targeting strategy. And the other targeting strategy, we call it segment-based targeting strategy. And my dear friends, another one when it comes for global context, okay? Global context එක අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම certain products like across the board, whatever the products, wherever you consume, you feel same කියන එක. They try to give kind of a similar feeling කියන එක. එතකොට එතනදි කියනවා they don't go into any differentiation, anyone can consume. Now as an example, Coca-Cola, right? In global context, they try to cater each and every individual in the world. So they try to cater each and every individual in the world as a cola product. But there are different packaging conditions, different size conditions, you know. Now, Coca-Cola mega bottle for a heavy usage, maybe a family or whatever, or a function or whatever. Coca-Cola container, the can, right? So maybe for a single user, those who, I mean, like go for fun outing kind of a thing, they just take the casual, the canned version now. So those are segmented approach. The Coca-Cola itself, you have segment. Diet Coke කියලා කියන segment approach, right? එතකොට low sugar approach. So like that, inside the Coca-Cola, when it comes for product categories, my dear friends, they worried about the segmented market. But in global context, they want to what they say, anyone. Coke for anyone, even a kid, even a young adult. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර කෝක් තියෙන කල් ජීවිතේ මල් කැම්පේන් එක ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒකේ කැම්පේන් එකේ ඒජ් ගෲප් ඔක්කොම ජෙන්ඩර් ගෲප්ස් දෙකම ඒගොල්ලන්ට වෙනසක් නැහැ. ඒ ඕන එක්කෙනෙක්ට කියන කන්සෙප්ට් එක තමයි. ඒතර ග්ලෝබල් කන්ටෙක්ස්ට් එකේ එහෙම කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒගොල්ලන් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් විදියට නමුත් බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් එකක් විදියට නමුත් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් වයිස් යනකොට ඒක වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒකනේ බඩි බෝතල් ආවේ price conscious කෝක් එක ටේස්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ බඩි බොටල් එක ආවා. So average normal bottle එක තිබ්බා ඊට පස්සේ බඩි බොටල් එක ලාව ලංකාවේ මාකට් එකට. So different size. Then the container, so the tin container එක ආවා canned version එක. Then the plastic bottle එක ආවා pet bottle එක කෝක් එක ආවා. right එතකොට mega bottle එක ආවා size එක වෙස් කරගෙන. හැබැයි කෝක් ටේස්ට් එක එකයි ඔය කොයි බොටල් එක ඇතුළේ තිබ්බත් කොයි කන්ටේනර් එක ඇතුළේ තිබ්බත් ටේස්ට් එක වෙනයි. user experience එක අනුව මාකට් එක සෙග්මන්ට් කරා ඒගොල්ලෝ. ඒතර so like that they try to maintain standardization on the product but differentiation on the standardization of the taste rather but differentiation on the availability කියන එක ඒගොල්ලෝ මේව කරා. so එතකොට ඒක mainly අපිට නමුත් කතා කරන්න වෙන්නේ segment based approach එකට. my dear friends segment based approach එකට මොකද ඒගොල්ලෝ offer කරන විදිය එක්ක බලනකොට. right එතකොට segment based approach එක කියලා කියන්නේ we divide the market into segments and select the right segment as we were talking about so far. Segment based targeting strategy. So මේ segment based targeting strategy is a common one. ඒක අපි මොන product එක ගත්තත් milk powder වෙන්න පුළුවන්, yogurt වෙන්න පුළුවන්, butter වෙන්න පුළුවන්, brand කරලා තියෙන soya meat products වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? මේ chicken රසති කියලා දෙන්නේ ඇයි? Why? Right? Sometimes I mean people who don't like chicken taste they might not buy, right? Now the vegetarians might not. No. That taste I hate that taste. I don't need that taste, right? So the people those who are conscious on certain things, but they need the chicken taste and they don't want to eat any broiler kind of a chicken, right? Then the chicken taste, I mean the soya meat is there. So like that, the taste wise, so almost, I mean 90% of the products are segment based, my dear friends. So identified segment, they are catering the product. And the other one, segment based targeting, we go further. We take further. අපි දැන් segment based targeting අපි further ගෙනියනවායි කියලා කියන්නේ unique segment එකකට cater කරනවා. unique segment එකකට. දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම සමහර milk powders තියෙනවා unique segment එක. දැන් අපි ගන්න උදාහරණයක් විදිහට Anlin එක ගන්න. right එතකොට Anlin එක ගත්තොත් Anlin එක කියන්නේ මොකද්ද unique segment එකක්. ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ osteoporosis target වෙන segment එක. ඒගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට advertise කරනකොට පවා ඒගොල්ලෝ පෙන්නන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ළඟදී ඉඳලා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ trend එක වෙනස් කරා young generation එකේ ඉඳලා මේගොල්ලෝ ඒ consumption එක පුරුදු කරන්න බලාගෙන but initially right if you all can really recall the memory මේ osteoporosis කියන වචනේ ලංකාවට ලංකාවේ මිනිසුන්ට familiar උනේ මෙන්න මේ Anlin advertisement again, I think. So I mean we were not even the doctors were not much talked about those things, right?